guys, it's day number 4 and third day of our practice. On Saturdays we are not training, resting. It's also important to progress and make sure we are not getting injured, because one of the important things is to stretch, but rest is what connects everything. And basically, you know that stretching is basically injuring your muscles, right? So when we stretch, we injure, but we also want to rest in order to give time to recover. So we are starting from an active stretch, and this time I want you to press against the ground, and you'll see that you are also activating the muscles, the adductors in the end range of motion. So this is also helping you to increase the range and bring a little bit more intensity into the training. So what we are doing is basically gently pressing against the ground and trying to close the legs, and you will see that when you do it and after that you relax, you basically enabling more and more range of motion. So let's get into a passive middle split. We are going to add a little bit more complexity each time, as I already said. This is the third training, Sunday morning. I know some people might be on their weekend now, but in Israel we're getting back to the weekly routine on Sunday instead of Monday. Let's do side sways from side to side. And also include the middle. I like to exhale when I'm getting to the maximum range of motion. I already feel how those 3 training sessions improved my mobility tremendously, and I'm very excited to see how it's gonna be in 30 days. So let's get into an active active side split. Remember all the nuances, and I already see how I improved. So remember to activate your core, straighten your front knee, and try to flex your ankle. Try to be straight as much as possible. And you can also add small activations. Try to press against the ground again, as we did in the active split. So it's minor activations. Do 5 of those as you exhale on each activation. So when you activate the muscles, you're basically trying to close your legs and bring them together, but because you're in a split position, you're basically not capable of doing that. Let's move to the other side. Same thing applies here. And flex, straight back, activated core. Let's move to a lazy lunge. One of the things that gives me motivation and basically keeps me going here is the fact that I'm creating those videos, because kind of gets me into the rhythm of doing. And if you have some kind of activity or people that might ensure that you are actually engaging in the practice, you might also include them into your plans. Let's shift to a pistol sit position. Here I want to sit on a bended leg, sit on the foot. You are not sitting on the cheekbones, on the glutes. You're basically sitting on the leg. Straighten the other leg and flex. Try to get down with a straight back. You'll immediately feel the stretch at the hamstrings. So the more strings you've got that makes you do something. So for example, you have a friend that you are practicing with. You also have you also shooting content. So you add many strings that basically ensures that you are staying on track and staying consistent. So this is one of the principles that helped me to stretch every day, is that I'm shooting those videos for you. Let's move to a lazy lunge, basically 90-90. Some people also call it, because you have 90-degree here and 90-degree here. Tuck your core, activate your core as you bend your front leg. Try to keep the same position at your hip and get down as much as you can without changing your position here at the core. And you should feel a stretch at the hip flexors. Here you also can try to close between your legs, and this is also add a little bit more intensity for the stretch. You don't have to do it too strong. You can just do small short activations. And let's move to the other side. Let's start from a pistol position. Again, we're sitting on the bended leg, flexing the front leg, the extended leg, and trying to get down as much as possible with a straight back. See how your breathing actually affects how you feel and the amount of stretch you are getting. Even in this position, when I exhale, I feel that the stretch is stronger than when I'm inhaling. And let's transition to a lazy lunge. Again, activate your core, get down as much as possible without changing the form at your core, at your hip joint. I'm basically trying to rotate my hip this way. I'm activating my glutes and my core at the same time, and I also try to get as down as possible. So this is kind of confusing at the beginning when you're just starting out, but the more you can isolate those parts of the body and do it simultaneously, you will see that your stretching routine becomes more and more effective. And let's shift to a pigeon pose. Remember you have two options. Basically, the first one is to have the front leg in a 90-degree angle and then roll on the back foot and you can leverage your body by using the other hand close to the knee and basically leaning forward without arching your back, hunching your back. Try to keep it straight and lean forward. This way you will feel the best the stretch at the gluteus medius. And let's shift to the other side. I hope those postures become more and more natural to you, because I want all those nuances to be already installed into your system. So you basically want to get into the position and already know exactly how to form the body correctly in order to make, first of all, the best improvement, and second of all, not injure yourself as you stretch. I like to do those small bounces, as I already said. I don't like to be fully and stretch too intensely, but I do like to get to those maximum ranges of motion and basically try to get more and more mobility and flexibility to those positions. Let's see what are the exercises that I didn't do. Have I done all the mobility exercises? Oh, now I remember. The triangular position, one leg, the back leg is close to your hips and the other one is close to the knee. From here, I'm activating my core as I get down, because if I'm not gonna do that, basically I'm gonna arch my lower back and compensate over the stretch, and as a result I'm not gonna stretch my hip flexors as much as I would if I activate my core from this position and try to keep it here all the way until I really feel the stretch in the bended leg, the leg that on the back, and I want to feel the hip flexors here. So this is what I do. I'm trying to, the more you activate your core, the more you activate your glutes, the more you will feel the stretch at the hamstring, the hip flexors. Let's change sides. Wow, that is so nice. I like stretching and I like the pain. Write me on the comments what you like what you like about stretching, and try really find something that you like about it. I told myself that I want to fall in love with editing, and it kind of reminds me that you also, if you don't like stretching, you kind of want to fall in love with stretching. Find those things that you can appreciate about it and fell in love with it. And this is the way to stay consistent with it, because you have to start finding the things that you enjoy about it. And I think this is the only way that you really become consistent with it. Let's shift to a active split, active front split. Hey buddy, want to stretch? No? Okay. You just want to be famous. So one of the things that I told myself, that I have to fall in love with shooting videos and become every shoot improve something, even if it's little, and with every shoot I want to become better and better. So you guys are here, the reason why I do it. So I hope you will help me to improve those videos and make them better, so you enjoy them more and other people would enjoy them more, and I'll become more famous as a result. So it's a win-win. So let's shift to a side split, all the nuances. I'm not gonna repeat myself and give you all the corrections all the time. Can you see that I improved already? Like, I feel that I don't have as much space. Maybe it's because my hips aren't squared, but wow. You can also lean forward or backward. Depends if you want to stretch more the hamstrings or stretch more the hip flexors. They are both important, and most of the times, if you are sitting most of your day, your hip flexors will be more tensed than your hamstrings. So this is what I see. You see how my angle is more tilted towards the front. Let's change sides. So this is basically means that my hip flexors should be I should focus more on my hip flexors instead of my hamstrings, because my hamstrings are a little bit more flexible than the hip flexors. So the point here is to be fully straight and fully vertical in relation to the floor. You can also activate and try to push against the ground a little bit. I give you suggestions. Those suggestions aren't yet a requirement, so you don't have to do them. But it's nice that you're experimenting and trying new things, and you can also, depends on your level, do those suggestions. Wow, I feel that I'm really close today to the ground, which is very, very nice. Okay, so let's shift, wow, to a pigeon pose. So the way to get into the position is bend one leg 90 degrees and then roll the back leg. And this way I find that the stretch is the best. I feel the stretch in the best way at the gluteus medius. Try to get down with a straight back, so lock your back, don't arch it, because here I can get really close to the ground. But here, when I really focus on the glutes, I really can see how I'm limited, and this is also I have here more leverage on the muscle. Let's move to the other side. By the way, would you like me to just give the exercises on my Instagram page, just 5 seconds of the exercise and the instruction, do it for 5 seconds, 30 seconds, 5 reps? Or do you like to follow along and do it with me? Let me know in the comments. It's really interesting. I really want to know like what you prefer best. And let's shift to the triangular position, 90-90 some call it, but it's not really 90-90, so I like to call it triangular position. Here you can see that my leg is very close to my hips. I'm not sitting on it, but it's very close, and this is what gives me the leverage to lean back and stretch my hip flexors. Again, activate your core, make sure you are always active, because if not, the lower back will compensate over the tight hip flexors. Let's change side. And I find it very satisfying. I don't know. Now it's like the third day of the practice, and I already feel the changes. I already feel how I'm more flexible than I been before. And it's like just 3 practices. Studies show that the first 20% of your mobility is just not neural. Basically, when you activate one muscles, let's say when you activate let's say the glutes, then the hamstring, the quads become more flexible, because when you activate the agonist muscle, basically the antagonist gets chemicals and basically relaxed more as a result. So you can basically do this exercise when you tense really strong your glutes for a couple of seconds, your quads for a couple of seconds, and you will see that you get lower when you bend forward. So try it without the activation, and then activate your quads for a couple of seconds, and you will see that you have more range of motion just by doing that. So where have we been? Okay, pistol sit, and let's get down with a straight back. Flex your ankle. And the point we are doing specifically those exercises is because those exercises are equally stretching all the muscles around your hip joint. And it's also very important that we are staying consistent with the same exercises for some time, because this is the way to see progress. Okay, so if you change the exercises all the time, you basically don't have a point that you can lean and examine yourself whether you had actual progress or not. So this is also important, to have the same exercises and use the exercises that really work for you, but use the same exercises. I'm not sure if I'm in the middle of the frame or not, so I'm going to do it based on my feelings. So it's very important to stick with a couple of exercises that you feel that are making the best results for you for quite some time, in order to see results. Those exercises actually worked for me and many of my clients. So this is the exercises that I'm showing you. Okay. Am I at the center or not? Not sure. So flex your ankle, get down with a straight back. I don't think that I have to repeat myself all the time, but it's just the third training session. So let me know if I have to tell and say all those corrections every time that we get into a pose, or you already remember them. I feel that I don't have to do it because I already know the poses, and for me it's very repetitive. But let me know if for you it's not, and you have to hear that more and more until you remember it. So write me in the comments, let me know. It's very important for me. Get into a lunge position. Let's spend a little bit of our time here. What an amazing day. It's supposed to be winter right now in Israel. Already January. should be pouring rain every day, all day. But here we are with a t-shirt on the beach. I'm not sure how many degrees it is right now, but I think something around 20, 24, something in this range, which is very nice because it's a bit sucks to stretch when it's cold. You have to do more warm up, and you are not staying warm for the whole session, so it's nice to be outdoors. We're going to do 3 sets of the back bends because I don't feel so much progress as I feel with the hip mobility. So here also try to tuck your core and go down with a neutral, with the activated core, and then you will feel all this upper part stretching. Take deep breaths and try to really commit. Wow. Now we are going straight to the bridge push-ups. I want to do the active and passive stretches together, and again, remember to tell me if I have to say all the corrections every time that I get into the position, or you already remember them and I don't have to repeat. 5 bridge push-ups. And hold for 10 seconds. Wow, that was good. It's a little bit a shame that bodybuilding and those kind of practices are the practices that most popular right now, because if you think about it from a biological standpoint, you are trying to show how good is your physique by showing off and standing and showing your muscles on the stage. But I think one of the better indicator for your body's capability is your mobility, because it allows you much more freedom of motion, and today day and age most people are not flexible at all, and I think this is one of the biggest contributors for injuries. Let's get into another set. Let's try to hold here between 30 to 40 seconds. Again, activate your core and lower your hips. And let's move to the bridge push-ups. It's ideal if you can do the passive and the active stretch one after the other. It's way more effective. Wow, I feel way more range of motion. So let's do 5 push-ups and hold for 10 seconds at the last rep. Let's start. Almost forgot about the 10 seconds and I stay almost 5. Wow, feels so good. We've got another set, and after that we're done for today. So I feel that most people missing on a very, very important point, which is your biological superiority is not only how big your muscle is, what you can do with them. And I feel like most people very, very dumb in this regard because they don't really view the whole picture. They want to be big and strong, but this is not the only indicator. As you exhale and the more you get down, the more stretch you've got, and you exhale, you will see that the stretch become more and more intense. So try to breathe fully in this position. Wow. And another active stretch. 5 push-ups and hold for 10 seconds at the last rep. Let's do it. Wow. I feel so much more range of motion. That's crazy. So guys, this was a crazy session. See you on the next one.